There was a story this week on the website Puck from media reporter Matt Belloni, who is considered a Hollywood insider, is very plugged into the media landscape. Mark Shapiro, the president of Endeavor, has said in the past that his weekly newsletters are like his religion. Belloni reported that AEW's exclusive window for negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery ends next month. He said, "I'm told the exclusive window closes in July, and AEW leader Tony Khan is said to be disappointed with the offer currently on the table. Khan also surely knows that David Zaslav losing the NBA would give AEW more leverage, even though the money to re-up AEW is a mere drop in the NBA bucket. If the window closes without a deal, others could swoop in for those rights, as Comcast has done with the NBA. Extra awkward because Warner Bros. Discovery is said to own a stake in the league. I'm not sure how alluring AEW would be to other platforms, especially since only non-WWE partners could bid, but the wrestling shows still do okay on the Turner networks, its reliable programming, and a rival suitor could further push Zaslav into hot water in his cable carriage deals. For now, though, both sides are playing nice." Dave Meltzer had a follow-up report with AEW sources denying this to him and saying that the first offer was not disappointing to Tony Khan, but that the two sides have yet to reach any deal. Streaming rights are said to be part of those discussions, as they should be. You know, Tony has been open about wanting to do streaming for a long time now, and I don't know why he wouldn't want that to be a component to any deal that he makes. Maybe that's part of the holdup. Meltzer says the figures being discussed are said to be considerably more than the $110 million per year that would, in theory, take the company from not being profitable to being profitable. Their current deal, which I don't know that this has ever been confirmed, but for years, the belief is that the current deal, it was for 4 years, said to be for $175 million total, which would work out to be a little under $45 million a year. Now, for context, WWE is said to be getting $50 million for every Saudi show that they do. So for 2 shows, they get $100 million a year, which just shows you how insane that deal is and why they took it in the first place, despite all the pushback to making that deal when they did. What I've been saying is that they would get an increase. AEW would get an increase, maybe even double or triple their existing deal, I would say, for 3 to 5 years, but nothing astronomical. You know, just because Warner Bros. Discovery might be losing the NBA, and it sounds like the NBA is as good as gone on their networks after next year. You know, there's some people who think, if they lose the NBA, that opens up millions and millions of dollars that they can now allocate to keep AEW. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. AEW is not worth what the NBA is worth. AEW is not going to simply get the money that the NBA would normally get, or even half the money that the NBA would normally get. But they don't need NBA money. They don't need it to be profitable and have millions of dollars in the bank to spend on free agents. I think if they can get a decent increase, they're going to be in good shape. And I don't think that's unrealistic. I think that's actually very likely. Now, is Tony Khan disappointed by their initial offer? Well, I mean, he hasn't accepted it yet. Maybe he is. Or maybe, I know this is a wild concept here, maybe, just maybe, he's negotiating. They are in the negotiating window, right? He still has another couple of months to negotiate and make a counteroffer if he wants. That's what the exclusive negotiation window is for. This is normal, standard stuff. I would not read too much into any of this or the Puck report or anything else. I think they stay. As I said at the beginning of the year, I think they stay with Warner Bros. Discovery. AEW is live programming that still does well for them, despite their recent ratings decreases, okay? And Dynamite was back up this week. They were up almost to 800,000 viewers again without the NBA competition. Now, how much of that also had to do with MJF's return to Double or Nothing and people thinking that he would be on the show on Wednesday, which he was not? I don't know. But you can't discount that as part of the reason why they shot up so much. They shot up over 100,000 viewers from what they did the week before. And I'm sure the lack of NBA competition was part of it, but it could also be the MJF effect. Compared to the same week last year, though, their numbers are still down, almost 15% from where they were. Right? But the numbers they do are not terrible, and they have enough hours of content that I don't think Warner Brothers Discovery wants to lose them. It would not be a death blow if they did, right? Losing the NBA, which is much worse for them, may not be a death blow, but I think they like having AEW programming to plug into their schedule on both networks. It's not just TBS, it's TBS, it's TNT. That's 5 hours of content. And Tony Khan said this week that that's like the bare minimum of what he thinks AEW should be doing. He does not want to go below 5 hours. Right now, it's 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of Collision, 1 hour of Rampage. He wants more. I mean, the way he was talking in that interview that I saw, I don't know if it was with Sports Illustrated or who it was with, but he sounded very open even to the possibility of doing 3-hour shows. We've gotten some 3-hour blocks from them in recent weeks with all the sports preemptions. Now, I don't like that idea, but I don't think he's against it. So he wants more programming, and that would be more hours of content, mostly live content, that they can plug into their schedule. And I think that's something that would be attractive, to Warner Brothers Discovery. So I would expect something to be announced soon. That is going to be the biggest AEW story of the year, is how this deal plays out. They need this deal. The streaming discussions are not said to involve buying the pay-per-views and airing them on Max, which is disappointing if that's the case. I wish they would do it. But the most important thing is to lock down a deal for the next few years so they have that security and they have the money that comes with it, because they need that money to stay competitive in the way that they are right now and to be able to do the things that they do, to host these events and to buy the rights to some of the music that they buy the rights to. All the things that we have come to kind of be used to Tony Khan doing, he's not going to be able to do it if he doesn't have the money to spend on it. So this is a very important couple of months coming up here for this company.